BIZTOOLS is presenting today, accountants, bookkeepers, what is your role in assisting SMEs in R&D claims? I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. I hope you're having a wonderful day. For those of you who did register for this presentation yesterday, our apologies. We encountered some difficulties with the recording yesterday, and I hope you enjoy it when you watch it today or in the next few days. Why assist? Why should accountants and SME and bookkeepers get involved with helping SMEs on research and development? I think first and foremost, it's interesting and challenging work and will really help you in your talent retention and attraction of people to your firm. Why? Because there are thousands of sole traders, micro businesses, small businesses who are undertaking research activities every year. It's a huge market. According to the Australian Government Small Business Ombudsman, 23% of the expenditure on research and development, as certified by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, is attributed to small business, and they define small business as less than 19 employees. So it's a huge market that at this stage is basically being serviced by the big four accounting firms, major consulting firms, and some of the top 100 firms. Yet these people are the natural clients of small and medium-sized accounting firms. Why aren't you undertaking research and development activities? My apologies, I should have asked first. Are you undertaking research and development activities for your clients and prospects? And if not, why not? And I hope to be able to show you during this webinar and in the special training series that we are implementing from 2 weeks' time, why you can guide your clients through the process. So this is the start of the innovation highway. This is exciting stuff for your team and for your clients. So do you want to participate and help your clients? Or are you going to sit on the sidelines and watch many of the businesses that I believe are your natural clients go off and talk to other advisors, and they will earn big fees because they have responded to the challenge of providing service for these businesses to help them see through their vision? It's the start of the innovation highway. And that presents a fantastic opportunity for small and medium-sized accounting firms. You can deliver these types of services. At university, you were trained to undertake work beyond just tax returns. And incidentally, research and development is embedded within the Tax Act. So it's the act that you're used to working with controls research and development. Plus there's some significant input from Oz industry, but that's more on the client side of making sure that their product is innovative. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So what can you do as part of the innovation highway to help clients? Well, first and foremost, of course, there's research and development. And then there's government grant applications. There is one government grant for $1 million on a 50% contribution basis. And there's companies each month get that $1 million. There's plenty of others get $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 also, all on a 50-50 basis. And none of these businesses are going to be able to obtain a major government grant or even get themselves ready to perhaps attract some investment money or raise a loan unless they have properly prepared predictive accounting reports, budgets, cash flow forecasts, and projected balance sheets. And who should be preparing that type of work? It should be you, your firm. You could assist clients then with loan applications. Now, they're going to need security that they can offer the bank or the lender, and they'll need those budgets, cash flow forecasts, projected balance sheets. And remember, all of that is also based on a business plan. I believe that the predictive financial accounting reports are really just the financial interpretation of what's written in the business plan. And who should be responsible for call? You. This is the role that your firm can perform. But you might also want to look. For 40 years, all we had in Australia was Section 708 of the Corporations Act. And it served its purpose quite well. But you could not advertise, you could not close associates and friends, customers, employees, suppliers. And you could raise up to $2 million in a 12-month period from a maximum of 20 investors. So it served its purpose, it's still there, and it can help you very much when someone is first starting with a research and development project that you need to get together 30, 40, 50, even up to 100,000. But then 5 years ago, we had the birth of early stage innovation company and crowdsource funding equity raising. These were initiatives of Malcolm Turnbull when he was the Prime Minister. And Turnbull was very much aware of the problems that small businesses have in raising capital. He'd been there, it's where he made his fortune, was as an investor in an early so the early stage innovation company has got carrots there for investors, was what Turnbull was well aware of, that investors needed an incentive to invest in unknown startup companies. And this can be the result, of course, of the research and development activities. And also we have crowdsource funding equity raising. There's a process which you could guide your clients through to be able to utilize that. And some of these clients, when they finish this, they do need a chief financial officer to guide them through, to make sure the reports have been prepared for management and their board of directors. To be offering virtual seats as part of the scaling up exercise for your client. This is real accounting work. It started with research and development as the first stage of the innovation highway, and now we're moving through it. Why can't you supply these services? That's my challenge to you today. And if you disagree with me that you can't do it, I'd love to hear from you, because I will point out to you, I think you can. And there are small all over Australia offering this service. Many of them are our subscribers, of course. And this is the type of work which will help you definitely attract talent and retain your talent in your firm. The CommBank Accounting Market Pulse report. The accountancy firms that they interview, they select 45 firms from all around Australia. They tell us they're all different sizes, and that was the #1 problem. So I assume it's the #1 problem you've got also, because that's what articles in the Accountants Daily have been running on for months, this talent shortage. Well, if you give people challenging and interesting work, they will respond. Andrew Geddes, one of the joint founders of the Financial Management Research Centre, FMRC, at the University of New England 40 years ago, is a firm believer that there are plenty of people out in the marketplace who have got accountancy qualifications, university degrees, who have elected not to work in the profession because they don't want to be saddled with sitting at a desk all day preparing tax returns and having to achieve 80% productivity. They need some variety. And this is a great series of work, but it all starts with research and development. If you're not involved at that level, I think you're going to miss the innovation highway. Your firm will earn attractive fees far exceeding what you will earn from preparing tax returns. And obviously, for these clients that you're helping on this journey, I assume you would still do their tax returns. But innovation highway, if not, move them on, sell them off, encourage them to go somewhere else so that you can concentrate on an area that's going to help you in your talent retention and attraction. So do you need any special qualifications to undertake research and development? No. But the tools that we have developed within ESS BIZTOOLS, based on my experience of acting for people undertaking research and development in all sorts of characteristics, will definitely help you to deliver these services. The research and development sections are part of the Tax Act. I told you that before, but I want to emphasize it. You're not really moving away too far from the Tax Act, but the Tax Act is helping you get started with clients, with prospects. Now, they're not all going to develop multi-million-dollar businesses. In fact, some of the research and development projects will turn out not to be successful. Incidentally, they don't have to prove that this is a commercial success to claim the research and development tax offset. They just need to follow through and implement what they said they were going to do. And then they will receive the taxation benefits. And you don't have to be a scientist or an engineer to assist people in this process. Your role is the procedural processes. It's the client's role to make sure that they have searched the internet and had discussions with experts and made their own inquiries as to whether anyone the same product that they're proposing to develop, because the Australian government will not allow them to get funded through the research and development process if someone else has already invented and registered this product. And we will help you with our product package if you're a subscriber to ESS BIZTOOLS. And I have a big offer, a special offer to make to you as we get near the end of this webinar to help you get underway. Your main role is the procedural requirements. It's your client's responsibility to undertake the research to ensure no one else has got it. The other key player in all this is the patent attorney. And you should be encouraging the client to talk to a patent attorney and decide whether they're going to proceed with an application for a provisional patent. And your client should then be communicating on an ongoing basis with his or her patent attorney to make sure that they're well aware of the deadlines. There's no extensions when it comes to patents because it's part of a worldwide process. And it can take up to 2.5 years. All you need to know is that they're undertaking it, and in the cash flow forecasts and the budgets, you need to be including sufficient funds to cover the patent attorney's expenses, fees, and the registration fees. So how do your clients and prospects know that you can help them on research and development? Because let's face it, most small and medium-sized accountants are not promoting that they can assist anyone in research and development. And that gives you a market opportunity to differentiate your firm in the marketplace, because there's plenty of people out there undertaking research activities, and a lot of them get it wrong. I've got a new prospect at present that spent a considerable sum of money in his own name. And I said to him, well, you can't claim the research and development tax offset. Why? Well, you had to be a company. You also had to spend more than $20,000 on legitimate research and development, but that can be an aggregate figure of half a dozen projects or how many you want. Now, he's done that. He's definitely spent more than $20,000, but unfortunately, he's missed out. And these people need the company if they're going to try to raise capital. It's very difficult to raise capital as a sole trader. So I think you need to freely talk about and promote that your firm got some knowledge about research and development. You would put articles on your website. You would include articles in your e-newsletter. You would talk about research and development and the innovation highway in podcasts and webinars that you're presenting to your clients and prospects. And people will get to know that your firm is interested in helping them in research and development. We produce material as part of our ESS BizTools obligations to our subscribers that you can include on your website and in your newsletters on a whole range of matters, including research and development, capital raising, the innovation highway. So encourage your clients to talk to you. By you talking to them and generally promoting research and development, they will understand that you're interested in this. Stress to the clients that you don't need to know anything about their intellectual property, because some of them are very wary. They got the shutters up. Patent attorneys have told them they've got to be careful. But you can talk to them about forming a company and then go through the step-by-step processes of what's involved. What records do they have to keep? So your role is to make sure the client maximizes their ability to claim the research and development incentive benefits, not to debate with them their intellectual property. They can debate that with their patent attorney. They can debate that with some experts, and they will need to assemble some experts. But we cover all that in the material within the ESS BizTools Research and Development Product Package. So how do you find out what a client's doing if they haven't contacted you? I like the concept that you should be providing a 52-week of the year service. Now, that probably will not be occurring for a sole trader. It's undertaking some research and development activities. I accept that. But try to communicate with the clients every month, get their profit and loss and balance sheet, observe if there's a new category of expenditure being created. And then they might not call it research either. They might have another term for it. And then ring them up and ask them what it is and say to them, well, do you understand that there's various structures in place for research and development? I'll send you an article, and then follow them up a few days later. Go and have a cup of tea or coffee or glass of wine with them and just go through the process so that they understand that you're interested in helping them. You would have to alert them. Of course, they have to be company. And I mentioned before the total expenditure, the aggregate expenditure. A lot of people forget that. They think it's on one project. It's not. If the client's got 3 or 4 or more projects underway, it's the aggregate expenditure, and it's got to be on what is deemed to be legitimate research and development expenditure. And that's all explained in the material that if you become a subscriber to ESS BizTools, you will have access to. You have got over 50 checklists in the system. Now, I don't think you're going to use all them on one client, but on a series of clients, you'll probably use them all because there's different circumstances that have to be answered. Some people will want to undertake overseas expenditure for research and development. Warning, it's a bit difficult to get the approval to do it, but there's an application process that can be complied with and lodged with the Australian Taxation Office before the expenditure is undertaken. There are documents to be maintained. Now, this is the client's responsibility. The client needs to undertake prior art searches. They don't get that fancy language confuse you or the client. It basically means checking if anyone else has already registered this product somewhere in the world. Now, if someone's just researching it in their laboratory or their study or their shed or on their farm somewhere in the world, that doesn't matter. It's got to be out in the public space. Document the prior art searches. Not just say, oh, we checked the internet and couldn't find anything. We need to keep the proof, because it might be 4 years later before the tax office or Oz Industry are making inquiries about certain aspects of this research and development project. They need to be able to identify the core activities proposed for the project. Now, that's a bit of jargon, I know, and in our notes, we supply you details of what is covered in that. But it's really, what are they going to do? They need to be able to identify the new knowledge to be produced. This is what they're trying to achieve. That doesn't mean they've got to achieve it, and they can still claim the tax incentive if they have gone through and undertaken the step-by-step process that they identify. It's important that they are able to identify an hypothesis or hypotheses. And this is basically what they're setting out to prove. Now, this might all sound very much like university approach, and to be honest, it is. The original people that undertook research and development in Australia were built around universities, and they still are a major contributor, of course. So the system has been based on what was working, and it worked within the university system. And they may also be getting advice from other experts. I've got someone at present that's approached me, and I, with the client's permission, recorded a podcast for the accountancy profession. So if you get the opportunity, have a look at it, where he outlined what his patent attorney had told him something about his product. Now, I'm trying to find out from experts whether what he's telling me is correct. I'll be as blunt as that, because there's a fair bit of work that I'm going to have to commit to doing for this gentleman. And I know at this stage he mightn't have a lot of money, but we are hoping to be able to raise it from investors. But I want some satisfaction that what he's telling me is legitimate, that it's possible, that it's a new product that's been developed. Because I'm also going to have to convince other people down the track, whether it's a crowdsource funding intermediary or others, or the client's going to have to convince them to be able to raise capital. So advice from experts is very important. This is the first segment of information that your client needs to be aware of. It's no use sugarcoating it and saying, oh, it's all straightforward and we'll do it all. You won't. Your role, I think, is being the scorekeeper, keeping the records, making sure the various items that our system identifies has to be done at various stages, and then reports have got to be lodged with the tax office and Oz Industry. And if the client won't play to those rules, I hate to say it, but I would walk away and say, no, we can't help you. Because if you don't play by the rules as set out in the Tax Act and in various pronouncements made by the tax office and Oz Industry, this is not going to work. So I would abort at that stage. You need to stress to your client that they must proceed in this format. And that's basically what I just said. So you can advise them of the forms that have got to be done. It's a special relationship you'll have with your client. Now, we have a special offer because I am committed to trying to get at least another 100 accounting firms around Australia concentrating as one of your key products, research and development. There's plenty of work. There's plenty of opportunity. And you can get yourself started on the innovation highway. So the ESS BIZTOOLS Advanced Package, which includes our research and development product package, we're discounted from $5,909 to $2,999. plus GST. So it's a 12-month subscription. You get the research and development package, and we got 4 holiday accommodation vouchers whilst they last, they're running down, that we will allocate to you. You can do what you like with them. You can put them up as a raffle prize. You can donate them to your favorite charity, or the 2 partners in your firm can take 2 each and have a bit of a break. Or you might give them out to the employee of the month. That's the special offer, $2,999. Or alternatively, if you only want to access the research and development package, we're discounting that also for 1 week. It's normally $3,000. We're listing that at $1,200. And you get 1 holiday accommodation voucher whilst they last. It's a 12-month subscription. Now, this special offer is available until Wednesday, the 15th of March. If you've got any questions, you can please contact me. And we're also going to run a special induction training program. We really want to get your team equipped with knowledge on research and development. So we're starting, pardon me, a special training program on Thursday, the 11th of March. Sorry, I read that wrong. On Thursday, the 23rd of March at 11 a.m. AEST, 12 noon AEDT, and then we're continuing it for the next 3 Thursdays. 30 minutes, we'll work through. You will be a subscriber, so you'll have all the information. We'll just go through step by step to make sure that you have a clear understanding of how all this works. And that's all part of the package. No extra fee for that. Not a good deal? I hope it is, because you can then really get yourself started on the innovation highway. I'd just like now to take you on a brief visit to our website. We're going to show you some of this material. What we're going to look at is the procedure control form. We have one of those for each of our 32 packages, product packages within ESS BIZTOOLS. It's to guide you through. You get an appreciation of what's included in the system. We're going to show you one of our process forms. We're going to show you a flow chart, and we're going to show you a sample of a paper relative to research and development. So if we just hang on a moment, I'm going to on our website now, you when I bring it up, you should have now the research and development segment within ESS BIZTOOLS. I'm going to download the content. You'll notice we have accountants' documents, and we also have it white labeled, so you can place the system, if you wish, onto your clients' computers. And we'll talk more about that in the training program. Now, here are the documents that are within the research and development program. There's about 50 forms. We call them BAS, Business Advisory Service forms. We had that name before the tax office called something else BAS. And we then go through flow charts and papers. But first of all, I'm going to show you the procedure control form. I'll just bring it back onto the other computer, other screen, sorry. So this is our procedure control form, which you would establish for your client. And it's the guidance sheet to show you what you should be doing. There's various information. You click on to these various forms, and obviously you will get them. You'll see there I've made a comment. Your firm should appoint a research and development champion. I think that's very important. And then we start working through it. The preparation, what you would do with your client. There's some material you can send to your client, this paper, research and development incentive. Everything in our system has got reference numbers. You've seen that already, haven't you? And we have then a proposal you can use. We have an actual quotation prepared. You've just got to fill in the sums. And then we start going through the project planning. Is your client registered under the Corporations Act? Is their turnover under $20 million? Because there's two different calculations for the tax incentive. If the turnover is under $20 million, the incentive is the corporate tax rate for those sort of companies, 25%, plus a premium of 18.5%. So the benefit is 33.5%. The big benefit for those companies is it is refundable. So if they're trading at a loss, they can apply to be paid in cash straight to their bank account, the cash benefit of the rebate. And that is undertaken by the tax office within 1 month of the tax return being lodged, with everything completed, including the identification reference supplied by Oz Industry. So there is a process, but our system will take you through and clearly identify how that works. We then have the material on companies with turnovers over $20 million, and that's different. And you can read that at your leisure later on. So this form is taking you through the entire process. And we're going to back that up with these 4 special training sessions for our new subscribers. And I'll just go back to where we were. And then I want to show you just a couple of the forms. So you've got a better idea of what we're including. We're now going to go to the planning a research and development project. That form is on the screen now. You should be able to see it. So this is the form that you would sit down with your client and say, we've got to complete this. So what's your idea? What are you trying to achieve? What are the objectives of this project? This is information that the tax office require and Oz Industry require. Project number is our suggestion. The client's going to be doing more than one project. They need to be able to clearly identify them. Who was on the original small team? That's very important, especially if there's anyone there that's not an employee or it's not part of their normal role, because job descriptions, employment agreements come into play here. Remember, your client's developing intellectual property, which could be worth a lot of money. Who owns it? We've got details on that within our notes. What was the result of the preliminary investigations? We assume that for someone to say they're going to implement a research and development project, they've undertaken some preliminary investigations. Who is the leader? What prior art searches? Remember, I talked about that before. What was the outcome of those searches? Have you identified the hypotheses or hypothesis or hypotheses? What new knowledge is intended to be produced? What's the outcome of the core activities in this project that could not have been known before based on current knowledge and science? Are you wanting to undertake any of the R&D activities in another country? Because I've already mentioned there is a special overseas finding. There's some quaint words in all this, but that means you want to undertake some research and development expenditure overseas. It's difficult to get approval for it, but you've got to be basically able to prove that it could not be done in Australia. And who's the team? Who are you going to collaborate with? Some clients will tell you no one, but it's a good idea if they have some experts that they're going to be talking to on this journey. So that's hopefully gives you an idea. There's 49 other forms along that way. The next item I want to go to is the flowcharts. We introduced flowcharts into our system for research and development, and we are going to do it with the rest of our products. So all that time I was flicking through there, I was just going through the 50 checklists. But I want to now bring up the planning and research and development project, the flowchart. This has been designed so you can communicate with your client. But first of all, please run some staff training with your own team so that they're familiar with this and they understand, they get the excitement that you're going to be involved in this sort of projects. I think it's great for talent attraction and retention. That's great. So let's look at it. It's all linked to papers or to BAS articles. So you can click across and check things. We haven't got time to do that in a webinar, of course, but we'll go through that in a bit more detail in the training programs. We have written 10 separate papers at various components of the research and development. That's why you'll see that some of these paper numbers changing. So this allows you to have an illustration to show your clients how all this is going to work. I hope you're excited about the opportunities that this presents to your firm. For a small outlay, you can get really involved in this and really help clients to scale up their businesses on the innovation highway. And last but not least, I'm now going to show you one of the papers. Okay, so this is research and development tax incentive. This is one of our papers. Incidentally, above the top here, you would badge this paper with your firm name. You can badge all of those forms also that I talked about before. You have an index, and you can see it's commenting on a lot of what we've already showed you and talked about in the flow chart and in the checklist form. This is now giving your client, and I'll skip through into the actual description so they can clearly understand how all this works. And first of all, of course, unless your team are very familiar with all this, make sure you do some team training so that they understand how this product works. So our special training commences on the date on the 23rd of March, and to get that invitation, you need to be a subscriber. You can go to our website www.essbiztools.com.au to become a subscriber to this product, and I hope that you're going to be able to achieve that. I'm just going to bring the share screen back on, and I'll finish the webinar. Sorry, I didn't have it marked at the right spot. I'm just flicking through. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, can you please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or give me a phone call, 1800 232 088. Don't forget our special offer for the advanced package, and I haven't had time to take you through everything else that's in the advanced package, but it will help you offer a 52-week of the year service to your clients. $2,999 plus GST, and you also get 4 holiday accommodation vouchers whilst they'll last. They'll last for a few days. I I think they'll last for the whole period of this offer. Or you can just buy the rights to use the research and development package, what I've shown you today, and that will cost you $1,200 plus GST, and you get one holiday package. This is available until Wednesday, the 15th of March, midnight, close of business, sort of midnight. The special training program, they're the dates, 23rd of March, 30 March, 6 April, 13 April. We will record it, of course, and be sending it to everyone. So if for some reason you can't make it, you will receive the recording and the all of the information that we disclose. Can I ask you to, oh, we've been there, we've done the visit to the website. So do you want to know more? If you want to know more, please go to our website, www.essbiztools.com.au, or send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone 1300 232 088 to make an appointment at a suitable day and time to suit you. And I will do my utmost to be available at that time to have a 45-minute, no obligation Zoom meeting with you. So please do that as soon as you can if you want to take advantage of our special offer. Our next webinar that we're presenting in this series of trying to motivate the accounting industry to look seriously at offering advisory services to your clients is on Wednesday, the 15th of March at 11 a.m. AEST. Knowing your client an inch wide and a mile deep. You really need to understand your business clients if you are going to be able to really assist them in business advisory work. Our special offer expires on the Wednesday, the 15th of March, and I thank you for your participation in this webinar. We will send attendees a CPD participation certificate, and I hope to hear from you before the 15th of March. Stay safe. Have a great day. Goodbye.